Hello. I just wanted to give a high-level overview of the site to the people on the 3P Tech team, just to explain what we're starting with and what it needs to move to. So I'm going to log in as a user to show you the site, and I will go from left to right on the menu to review this with you. So first of all, at a super high level, what we're trying to do is this prototype site was done in 2006, and most of the functionality in this was developed with the thinking of more of a B2C kind of thing, where we would create the content and users would engage with that content, or we would buy the rewards and they would buy the rewards from us. We would come up with ideas and they would give ideas and suggestions for those idea topics. And what we need to move towards is more of a P2P model for everything, whereby we're there interacting with each other, as opposed to us creating content and creating prizes. They create their own content and their own prizes. So let me go through the site at a high level and just sort of and show you what I mean. Yeah. So with this ideas and voting section, this was probably the most popular section in the original prototype. So right now, you'll notice that there's a lot of different topics. There's our active topics. This one had 300 ideas that go into it. How do we help our business partners? 396 ideas, 2 ideas, 129, 91. Help our not-for-profit partners, so a whole bunch of different ones, and maybe 30 or 40 different ones that we created and got. But what this needs to go towards is where, instead of us creating the idea topics and them suggesting ideas and voting on ideas, it's going towards that they can create their own idea topics and they can pay everybody else in points in order to help them develop that idea. So instead of us creating ideas and them just giving suggestions and voting, they can create the overall topic and invite other users to help them develop that idea. With the next section is the goals section, and with this section, it was created so that users could create goals according to different categories. They could follow their progress as to how close they were to being completed. They could get updates by email on a regular, on whatever schedule they wanted, every 3 days, or every week, or every day. And this section is going to move to a P2P model, in the sense that instead of them just having their own goals and working on their own goals for themselves, this is going to be a section where they can invite other people to help them accomplish their goals, and they will pay the other people in points. So for example, if somebody wants to get into Harvard University, they could have a goal, I want to get into Harvard, and they could either keep that as a private goal just for themselves, or they can invite people that they know to help them with their goal, or they can make that available to anybody who can help them get into Harvard, and then they reward those people directly with their own points. So that's what I mean by P2P, where they're interacting with each other instead of just with us or by themselves. With the project section, same thing. Right now, all these projects as they stand now, we create the projects, they can apply to do the projects, and this will change more to be like a guru.com or freelancer.com, where anybody can be can either list projects to be done, or they can do projects. So so as long as they have enough points in order to pay for the projects to be done, then they can do that. So instead of just us listing them and them doing them, it's they list their own projects and make that available to the whole community to be able to do them. Yeah. The make money section is where we've listed all this is where users could look at a business template. They could run one of the businesses, and this is not going to change that much. We might add a few wiki. Right now we write the one-page business plan. They can add their clients and transactions. No, there's not going to be a lot of change with this. There's going to be different kinds of businesses that are going to be added in there, and maybe instead of us just writing the business plan, we'll integrate some wiki functionality so that they can edit the business plans themselves, and so that they're constantly getting better and better. This reward section is going to change a lot. Although you can't see it because it's giving me an error. But the reward section is essence, I can't show it to you now, I'll redo this part of the video after, but in essence that was where we would list the people, where the items that users could redeem their points on. So in the prototype they could get phone cards, iPods, movie tickets, movie vouchers, things like that. And that was what I consider a B2C, where we came up with the rewards and they could cash them in. But this is going to, because everything's based on points, this is going to go to much more of like an eBay or Kijiji type model, where anybody can list items that they want to sell for points, and anybody can use their points that they've either earned or bought in order to redeem them. So instead of this being a reward section, it's going to be much more like an auction classified, that people can use their points in order to get items. So if you think of an eBay functionality, that's what this section is going to have to go towards. The My Points section right now is very much a this is where they can go to look at how they've earned their points, what they've spent their points on, and that's it. But the next version of this needs to go to more of a PayPal type version, where they can pay each other with their points, so they can transfer points between each user. So in order for that to happen, we need to just have better security around that. But it's an online banking system, right? So they can transfer points amongst each other. The contact section is, in the previous version, it was really just used on a limited basis to invite other members to participate in 3P, and they could see who they'd invited, whether they'd accepted. Users got an override if somebody earned points, then people they invited got an override of, if I earned 10 points, whoever invited me got 1 point, that kind of thing. But this section needs to go more towards more like a LinkedIn kind of thing, where people can look for people that meet certain criteria and invite them to connect with them. So we need to very much improve our search functionality and call it a friending kind of mechanism, so that people can not only search for people similar to LinkedIn, but also invite those people to connect, so that they can have a closer interaction. And those are the main parts of the site that I wanted to review, that are going to change. The other parts that we will that have to be upgraded are our user management systems, and just overall community management functionality. So that's at a very high level overview, and I hope that helps you understand the site and the purpose of the site a little bit better. Okay, thanks.